If you loved the first season of Guy Ritchie's The Gentlemen on Netflix, then you've probably been waiting for news about Season 2. Well, I've got updates for you, so let's dive in. Release date. So when is Season 2 actually coming out? Right now, we don't have an exact release date, but what we do know is that it's arriving sometime in 2026. I know. That feels like a long wait, but there's a good reason for it. The show was officially renewed back in August 2024, and filming kicked off in May 2025. The good news, production wrapped in October 2025, so we shouldn't have to wait too much longer to reunite with Eddie, Susie, and Freddie, played by Theo James, Scodelario, and Daniel Ings. According to reports, one of the main reasons for the gap between seasons is Guy Ritchie's incredibly busy schedule. The man's got a lot on his plate. When Netflix renewed the show, they did it in the most Guy Ritchie way possible. They put up a billboard in London with a giant joint covering the message. As it burned down, the words "Roll on Season 2" appeared. Pretty clever, right? What Guy Ritchie said. Back in May 2025, when production started, Guy Ritchie released a statement that gives us some hints about what to expect. He said, "I am delighted to return to set for Season 2 of The Gentlemen. This chapter sees a deliberate expansion, both geographically and thematically, as we journey from the English countryside to the Italian lakes." So we're going international, folks. He continued, Eddie and Susie find themselves navigating an increasingly volatile empire as they're besieged on all fronts by an influx of enigmatic new players. The stakes are heightened, the power dynamics are more precarious, and I'm thrilled to be collaborating once again with this exceptional cast and crew. Just like Season 1, Season 2 will have 8 episodes. Cast, who's coming back? Let's talk about who's returning. When the show was first renewed, only 3 actors were confirmed: Theo James, Scodelario, and Daniel Ings. James actually talked about Eddie's relationship with Susie, saying, "I think they've grown to love each other in their own way, but I think they'll never fully trust each other because they are so different, and they're from such vastly different worlds. There's a love between them, but ultimately, they will never be from the same cloth." When filming began in May 2025, more returning cast members were announced, including Ray Winstone, Jolie Richardson, Vinnie Jones, Giancarlo Esposito, Michael Vu, Jasmine Blackborough, Harry Goodwins, Pierce Quigley, and Ruby Sear. New cast members. But it's not just familiar faces coming back. We're getting some major new additions too. Hugh Bonneville from The Golden Paddington is joining the cast, along with Love Island host Maya Jama. In December 2025, even more new cast members and their characters were revealed. These include Charles Edwards as Simon McDougal, Natasha Alderslade as Rebecca, Ethan McKinley as Butter, George Webster as Red Ned, Italo Amerighi as Father Bosco, and Tyler Conti as Joe Green. There are also Antonio Bustorff as Victor, Daniel Atwell as a character literally named Foxsake Frank, which is very on brand for this show, Harvey Quinn as Rupert, Tomo Thomas as Glass Heavy, Nanda Isaiah as Bianca, and Faraz M. Khan in an undisclosed role. We also learned that Nick Rowland will direct at least 1 episode, joining Guy Ritchie and Aaron Creevy as confirmed directors. What's the plot? Now, what's actually going to happen in Season 2? Well, an official synopsis was released in May 2025, and here's what it says. It's been 1 year since Eddie and Susie joined forces to work together in Bobby's criminal empire overseas. As they drive to expand their enterprise, the decisions Bobby is making seem to be increasingly unsound. Now Eddie and Susie must decide whether to take action or risk losing it all, but unfettered ambition never ends well. If you remember, Season 1 ended with a massive twist. After spending the entire season trying to get his family estate out of the Glass family's weed business, Eddie decided to do a complete 180 and go into business with Susie. He chose the crime life. So Season 2 picks up with Eddie and Susie running the massive weed empire together. Theo James described it perfectly when he told Netflix, "Eddie and Susie just signed the deal with the devil, and they're about to embark on a diabolical journey. That is the beginning of his journey into the heart of darkness." Season 1 finale setup. There's another important thread from the Season 1 finale. Bobby Glass, played by Ray Winstone, met up with Stanley Johnston in prison. They talked about their prospects and possibly formed a dangerous partnership heading into Season 2. Scodelario had an interesting take on that scene, saying, "They're either going to partner up and run everything, or Stan is going to be Bobby's little b***." The challenge of Season 2. Back in 2024, Theo James talked about the challenges of creating a second season. He said it would be a wrangling process with all of us and Guy, but he also emphasized something important. I think with a show like this, if you're going to do more, you need to come up with a really interesting concept for Season 2. Because, as much as we enjoyed it and as fun as it was, it needs a narrative drive. Wrapping up, so there you have it. Everything we know about The Gentlemen Season 2 so far. We're getting 8 new episodes sometime in 2026, with the story expanding from the English countryside to the Italian lakes. The stakes are higher, there are new dangerous players entering the game, and Eddie and Susie are in way over their heads, running Bobby's empire. Production wrapped in October 2025, so hopefully we'll get more concrete news about a release date soon. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any updates when they drop.